All right. Welcome to the first ever episode of Brain Fallout, a brand new show where we're going to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
If your mind is too open, your brains will fall out. My mind is so open, I feel like my brains are falling out.
We came, we saw, we died.
My brains are falling out. My brains are falling out. My brains are definitely falling out.
All right. So, just trying out something new. And, I like to try out new things. So I'm doing a show called Brain Fallout because I'm mocking this, the idea that if you open your mind too much, your brains will fall out. This show is literally talking about anything and everything. We're going to be talking about news, culture. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is people sitting on a back porch talking about whatever they want to talk about. Having, wide-ranging conversations, entertaining all kinds of ideas. All ideas are entertained here in this particular episode. This is not Black Bear News specifically, right? You can get other kinds of information there, and that has a space in the world and in information as well. So, but so this is the first episode of Brain Fallout. These are going to be, I'm going to do really quick. I know that 30 minutes is not a lot of time to get a lot of people into the stream. I feel like the actual thing I should be doing is like 2 or 3 hour shows because that's when you can really build a stream up. But whatever. We're going to start out small and see how it goes, okay? So we're talking about whatever. We're also on YouTube, Rockfin, and on Twitter right now. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this show on YouTube. I may do this show on Rumble. So... No, it looks like pajamas. Yeah, it might be pajamas. It's cold here. We're supposed to get a heat wave this week, but it feels like late fall right now. It's chilly. It's cold. It was literally almost raining today. It's not late May. It's June 1st. The date is June 1. Or no, June 2nd. What day is it? I don't even know. It's June 2nd. So we're fully in June, and it feels like winter right now in Los Angeles. So, so again, if this show is, going to require being open for conversations about everything, right? Or so. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, great. Anyways, I have a short amount of time and I have a lot of things to cover. And like I said, there's going to be things that I may or may not be able to talk about on YouTube. Although, I see people talking about all kinds of stuff on YouTube. So it's weird when some people get censored and other people don't. Did you see this news that Fauci literally, he testified that he made up the COVID rules? Yeah, for the people that, were in the know from the very beginning, or, people who understood that the hijinks were going on and that this was not a story to be taken seriously. And that was pretty much me and all my friends. But there were a lot of people who really bought, they bought the story. Dr. Fauci confesses he made up COVID rules, including 6 feet social distancing and masking kids. Fauci said he doesn't know where the 6-foot social distancing rule came from. He said he was also unaware of studies recommending masks for kids. He also was the one who said, originally said, well, it takes years, 10 years to develop a vaccine, right? You really got to test it. And then, a few months, or maybe not even that long into COVID, he was like, no, we're going to have one done in like 6 months. We're moving at the speed of science. Stuff like that. Anyways. Let's see. Deline says, did you listen to recent Jimmy Dore stuff? Why does he get away? It's weird to me. Like, some people can talk about like all kinds of, I mean, there are channels that do, like conspiracy stuff or like that, revelation, revealing, things. I think there are particular subjects that they really don't like. So there are particular subjects that they really don't like. But some people just get away with talking about whatever. But I mean, Jimmy Dore has been moving over to Rumble, right? So Jimmy Dore does like half of his live streams are all on the channel, every channel, Rockfin, YouTube, and Rumble, and wherever else he does his live streams. And then halfway through, he'll cut all the other streams and go to Rumble. So, and that might be a deal that he has with Rumble. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, this is very interesting news surrounding Fauci. He's like, I don't know, dude. He's like, I don't know, man. Oh, hold on. I got to close this. Hello. Trying to close. Oops. I don't want to close this. Let's keep going. Should we stay in the same vein? I don't know. I feel like this is dangerous territory, just starting off right with this. Well, let's look into. Did you hear that China has developed a cure for diabetes? We'll come back to some, COVID revelations. But this is big news. China developed a cure for diabetes, apparently. And of course, they don't, if it's not profitable. Is everybody aware yet? Does everybody understand that, like, they don't want to make you better? They want to keep you kind of sick or even really sick? Does anybody understand what's happening to people after they got particular therapies for said respiratory illnesses? Right? There's a lot happening around that. There's so much happening around that. Anyways, let's listen to this from Midwestern Marks. And this is very quick.
So there are reports out of China now that scientists have found a cure for diabetes, and the American pharmaceutical industry is not happy about it. There are now examples of Chinese patients receiving this experimental stem cell therapy and after about 11 weeks no longer requiring insulin, which I imagine is something that sounds amazing to people with diabetes, no longer having to poke yourself. But it doesn't sound amazing to giant American pharmaceutical companies like Eli Lilly, who currently dominate the insulin market and use it to make billions of dollars. And this has been very controversial as they've regularly increased the price of insulin, knowing that it's a necessary commodity that people with diabetes need to survive. And this is extra disgusting because the inventor of insulin, Frederick Banting, originally sold a patent for $1, saying that insulin doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the world. And if people can be cured of diabetes so they no longer need insulin, obviously that would really cut into the demand for this product and cut into their profits. And here we see the contradictory nature of the for-profit American healthcare system. Innovation and advancements in medical technology are actually disincentivized if they have the potential to cure the patient and make it so they're no longer a repeat customer for the pharmaceutical industry. So much for capitalism promoting innovation and socialism destroying it. In reality, it's the opposite.
Yep. And we know this. And speaking of which, speaking of censorship, and censorship around pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, ARM, I know I'm going up against Grand Theft World. It was not my intention, and I'm only going to be here for a couple of minutes, and they're going to be going for like 6 hours, so I kind of wanted to just kick this show off, and I'll be doing it, hopefully throughout the week. And I don't know what time I'm going to do it, so I'll let you guys know when I have more information. That's all. But speaking of which, there have been several papers. I just saw another paper around cures for cancer, and interestingly enough, there was a new rule. YouTube added new rules around discussing cancer or cures for cancer. Like, you guys just, all these cures for cancer are beginning to be discussed, and YouTube is like, YouTube is clearly under the control of the pharmaceutical industry, right? Or the, pharmaceutical / intelligence agencies. So, right. But clearly there's, obviously big money interests in keeping people from talking about things that might potentially harm them or harm their health, or to keep people from talking about things that might cure them or make them better, right? They don't want that. Again, I don't know if this show is going to make it on YouTube. We'll see. I might have to do this on Rumble. But I just, if I can get enough of you to watch me on Rockfin and Rumble, then that would be fine. Thanks, Aram. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably, I will be tuning into Grand Theft later on or tomorrow. I usually don't watch their show on Sunday night. I usually watch it like Monday through Tuesday because it's so god dang long. In fact, I rarely make it through a Grand Theft. I just don't have that much time to watch videos anymore. I am doing a lot of things in life, and so my, news / video consumption is very limited. And I'm doing my own news / video production, so it's just really hard to watch 7 hours of content from one creator. It's just very difficult. I try and do my best. What else did I want to talk about here? I mean, we're just going through. There's just so many odds and ends, and that's really what this show is about: odds and ends and interesting things. Did you guys know? Has anybody seen this on? Did you know? Yeah, all right already, for crying out loud. I don't know if this is. Did you guys know about the Challenger astronauts? Has everybody seen this?
Good morning, commissioners. Today I come here asking for your help, but first a little backstory. I think we all remember the Challenger explosion that took place in 1986 that tragically took the lives of all 7 astronauts on board. It launched not too far from where we're standing here today. Well, the interesting thing is, a couple decades later, this thing called the internet came about, and someone allegedly found almost all of those astronauts alive and well, many using the same exact names. As you can see here, we have Challenger astronaut Judith Resnick and also Judith Resnick, Yale law professor. Michael J. Smith, the pilot of the Challenger astronaut, and also professor at University of Wisconsin, now retired Michael J. Smith. Commander Dick Scobie, who is now president of Cows and Trees. Now, if you'll notice, they all have the exact same faces 30 some odd years later, the same exact name, and they are the same age. Now, we all have a doppelganger out there, right? No big deal. But to have the same face, the same age, and the same exact name is extremely rare. So rare, I could only find one case in the last 120 years. And we're supposed to believe that 3 people from one spaceflight have exact lookalikes that have the same age and same exact names. This, ladies and gentlemen, is beyond statistically impossible. Ms. Resnick was questioned at Yale by a journalist, and she panicked and ran from the camera.
Anyways, this is a short version of, and I don't have it, and I'm sorry that I don't. And maybe if I can dig it up, there's a longer, like documentary on around the fact that all these Challenger astronauts are still alive. It's compelling. It's very compelling. And if this is true, it does. Biden has a whole lot of doppelgangers. Yeah, that's indeed. Yeah, somebody made a funny today about the fact that like they don't need to switch out Biden at the convention because there's several of him. There's several of him to switch out already. Anyways, yeah, anyways, this is very, very compelling. Interesting. And why, I mean, these are all the, the now still alive, like versions of the astronauts that died. It's freaking wild, man. It's freaking wild. And it makes you wonder what is real out there, right? Right? Am I right? Huh? And maybe if we open our minds enough, our brains will actually fall out. I hope so. Let's see. Where is... You guys know about the heart attack gun? I know. We're showing things that a lot of people already hip to. But if you understand that they had like a heart attack gun in 1975, which is, let's count, how many years ago is that? 1975. 50 years ago, there was a heart attack gun. What kind of newfangled, insane ways do they have to, remove people they don't like? I mean, they don't really try that very hard to cover up sometimes when they remove people they don't like, right? Gary Webb being one person that comes to mind immediately. Who's the other person on the Clinton body list? One of the lawyers. Why can't I remember his name? Anybody? Anyways, in 1975, the CIA unveiled a lethal weapon known colloquially as the heart attack gun. This unique firearm operated on battery power and shot a dart made of ice, which contained a deadly shellfish toxin. Once the dart penetrated the victim's body, it would dissolve, leaving just a tiny red mark as evidence. The official cause of death in such cases would be listed as a heart attack, making the murders appear natural. During a notable public hearing, CIA Director William Colby was summoned to testify before the committee. Colby not only provided details about the heart attack gun's development, characteristics, and applications, but also allowed committee members to physically examine the weapon. It remains unclear what happened to the heart attack gun after the singular public display. I think it's called the COVID-19 vaccine. Oh, oh, shh, shh, shh. Yeah, they just got people to turn it on themselves willingly. Yikes. Yes, exactly. Something's in the water. You got that right. Correct. You get a gold star. ARM said, I saw this thing on the Challenger doppelgangers a few years back, but one of the guys seems so far off. I let it go and practically forgot about it, but I was curious about the ones who look similar. Yeah. No, it's a weird thing. I mean, I saw the longer kind of documentary video about it, and yeah, the ones that look similar and they have the same names as and they look like the person 30 years older or 40 years older, and it's like, it's obviously the same person. Like, it's obviously the same person. It's so weird that the person with the name of the Challenger astronaut that died would be walking around or teaching a course at some university with the same name and looking exactly like the same person 30 or 40 years older. Like, come on. I don't know. That's a head scratcher, isn't it? Let's keep going. We got some more here. And you guys, we're just sitting on the back porch. We're drinking your favorite cocktail of choice, even if it's some ginger tea, which is my favorite cocktail of choice. It's about as wild as it gets for me these days. Here is Benjamin Netanyahu warning about the World Trade Center coming down 6 years before it actually happened. How could he know? How could he know?
In the 1990s, and I said that the West really doesn't understand militant Islam. So I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center. I said that the West really doesn't understand militant Islam. So I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center.
Well, I mean, his powers of prediction are pretty great. Deline, are you saying that I'm trying to get a strike? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, just about everyone on the airliners used on 9/11 were. Yes, yep. Well, and that's another coincidence too, right? Are you saying? I'm trying to understand what you're saying here with the comment. Anyways, what I was saying, just you got me a little scared. I'm not. I mean, it is what it is. So what I was saying is, I'm just working on one. No, I'm not actually trying to work on one. I'm trying to see, I am pushing the envelope a little bit, and that's okay. I know that I am. And we may have to do this on Rumble. I'm letting you guys know, if you like this show, if you like the content, you're going to have to come over to Rumble and watch me, or go to Rockfin and watch me. So, this is my first episode of this. We'll see how this goes. But this is for entertainment purposes only, right? So we're just a talking. That's all. You don't have to, this is just, we're just talking about ideas. That's it. It's okay. It is okay to talk about ideas. You don't, whether you don't have to. The thing about ideas is that they're ideas, and you don't have to invest, right? Your belief, or and the idea that like, well, talking about these ideas is dangerous because some people might believe it. Yeah, whatever. That's about as dumb as if your mind is too open, your brains will fall out. So we're just talking. That's it. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Beware. Okay, this is kind of important. Let me see. Did I miss something in the It's kind of important. I'm not going to go too much longer, y'all. But you know that this this is David Icke. So the company that does the verification, and I feel like a lot of people have already talked about this. Maybe even Jimmy Dore. The company that does the verification for Twitter's new, you got a KYC and verify now to be like a paid. And this is, again, kind of the slow creep version of, trying to get everybody to have like an ID to get online, to try to further control people's actions online and further censor people, right? So one of the ideas that people have is that there's going to be some kind of event, EMP, or the grid's going to go down, or the internet's going to go down, or there's going to be like a terror attack or something. Everything goes down. And when the internet comes back up, everybody's going to have to show their ID to get online, right? It's going to be a brand new and improved internet, right? So that's one idea. I mean, the other idea is that there's just a slow creep of KYC, slowly KYCing everybody in order to use any platform whatsoever. So, So what's already happening for a lot of people, let's say if you're using crypto, or when you're doing like financial things on the internet, like they KYC you have to give your ID, and right, and they actually already know who everybody is. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's like they just want to make sure you're you. They already have all your information, so when you put your information in, they're like, yep, click, checks out, that's you. But now they're really ramping up like the whole KYC thing, and Twitter is actually the kind of the first wave, actually, more so that Instagram is trying to get people to verify, Facebook's trying to get people to verify, right? The whole thing is like verify and you can get access to more tools, creator tools, blah blah blah. Now Twitter's like, well, if you want to keep getting paid by Twitter, you're going to have to KYC. And eventually it's going to be like, well, if you want to do any kind of subscription service on Twitter, you're going to have to KYC. And then if you want to get on Twitter at all, you're going to have to KYC, right? And it's going to be the same for all the other social media apps. If you want to keep using the social media, you're going to have to KYC, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of how it's going to go. Now, I hope that people are understanding of the dangers of this and fight back against it, or don't comply with it, or try to find other places to talk or other places to do things and try to get around this. I don't know. Who knows? The fact that it's happening on Twitter is interesting, right? Because this is supposed to be the free speech platform and everybody's free and free, right? Anyways, Harrison Smith, by way of David Icke, well, it was fun getting paid by X while it lasted. He's pointing out the A10 Ticks company that's doing the verifying. What David Icke says is A10 Ticks is an Israeli company and part of a group launched by members of Israel's domestic intelligence agency, Shin Bet. You've been had. People, X is Israel, Musk is Israel, Israel's government, intelligence, and military network is the cult. And that has been proven out, right? The guy that runs hold on one second. Let me go ahead and the guy that founded it, I think, was it's based in Israel, for one thing. Authentics is a identity verification and risk management company based in Had HaSharon, Israel. It was founded in the 1990s, a long time ago. Where is their Dan Yerushalmi is the current CEO of Authentics. Hold on one second, guys. Anyways, he used to be in a... Hold on. Just a moment. He used to be from a cybersecurity company, Checkpoint Software Technologies, where he served as chief client and revenue officer. Previously headed the technological division of Lamy Bank as group CTO, where he served as the bank's management team. Prior to that, he was president and business manager of EMEA for Amdocs. He was named one of the 100 most influential CIOs in the world. And he's definitely Israeli. Going South says, I like this show. In fact, YouTube has gotten more lax lately with this stuff. A little bit. They see that it's bad for their business to actually do I dare talk about this? Is from David Wallace Wells. Let's go back. I was going to talk about some COVID stuff, but let's go back to David Wallace Wells. So this is interesting, but this is also very this is mainstream. This is from The Guardian. So this is mainstream news. I know YouTube has a new some policy around this, but more than half of patients with advanced lung cancer who took lorlatinib were still alive 5 years later with no progression of the disease. Data presented at the world's largest cancer conference showed. So there's a new drug for lung cancer. So that's what I'm saying. At the beginning of the show, I was saying there's all these new treatments. And so it's interesting that YouTube has this new policy right when there's like an explosion of, treatments out there, different alternative, to the old chemo. Doctors are handling off-the-chart trial results that show a new drug stopped lung cancer advancing for longer than any other treatment in medical history. Lung cancer is the world's leading cause of cancer death, accounting for about 1.8 million deaths every year. Survival rates in those with advanced forms of the disease where tumors have spread are particularly poor. Anyways, this looks promising. In the phase 3 trial, 296 patients with advanced forms of non-small cell lung cancer were randomly assigned to receive either lorlatinib or crizotinib. just over half of the patients were women, and about 25% of them, their lung cancer had already spread to the brain when the study began. Good Lord. Anyways, the 5-year progression-free survival rate was 60%. Patients who took the lorlatinib, and 8% in the other group. Well, don't you wish you were in the first group? So these are cancer growth blocker drugs. And we can, there's other. Why isn't everybody in bed? It's only 7 o'clock here, Gene. Although I am going to go to bed soon. I'm going to go to bed soon because I wake up so goddamn early in the morning. So goddamn early in the morning. Let me tell you. I've been working in a coal mine. Been going downtown. Working in a coal mine. All right. We're going to leave you with this, which is slightly comic. 1996, a Canadian inventor named Troy Hurtubise created a metal suit of armor to enable him to take on and fight off a grizzly bear. Because I don't know. It's what people want to do with their time. It never gets dark where you're at going south and nice. Let's look at this. He created a metal suit. He also created several inventions, including ray generators, fire paste, and ablative heat-proofing material. The Ursus personal armor suit and the Trojan ballistic suit of armor. Tragically, Hurtubise passed away in 2018 following a collision between his car and a transport truck carrying gasoline, leading to an explosion. Here is this suit he developed in order to fight off a bear. Ow! Get me off this crazy thing. Gene, get me off this crazy thing. I've been hit by a truck. With a baseball bat. With oh my God. Wait a minute. That can't have felt good while you were inside that suit. I swear. That cannot have felt good. Yeah, Aram. I'm with you on that. Let's see. Yep, you're right. In the movie Spy Game, the CIA was trying to get a private doctor, a militant leader in Lebanon, to rub some liquid on a stethoscope for a health examination, which was supposed to induce a heart attack. It's not a heart attack gun as depicted in the movie Spy Game. The CIA seems to have multiple techniques to cause heart attacks, and who knows what other health issues. I suspect that the CIA gave Hugo Chavez, and who knows else cancer. Steve Jobs, right? I mean, there's I always go back to Bob Marley. Too, or several people that have died very young. He was one. He was quite a powerful. Should I stop showing it because it's like. I don't know. It's funny on one level, but it's really kind of painful to watch. There's sound to it. Bears with baseball bats, exactly. Or bears. It's even better with sound, I think. There's a movie in the 1980s. Yeah. I mean, I don't think any of these things are very far-fetched. Okay, I'm going to stop playing this. George Carlin. Yeah, Christopher Hitchens. Well, Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks died very young of cancer, right? Am I right? Bill Hicks. Let's see. I think Bill Hicks was in his 30s, or maybe 40s. He was in his 30s. Right? He was 32. That's insane. He died of pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer at 32. That's insane. All right. So I said this was going to be a short one. And it will be a short one. But I just wanted to introduce a new thing to you. If you guys like, any of this, or if you really want to like it, there's some direct donation links below. If you want to throw a little support my way, that would be great. Yeah. But welcome. We'll do this again soon. This is Brain Fallout, and we'll see you on the next one. I'll do, the Black Bear News will be here tomorrow at 4. So, all right. Peace.
If your mind is too open, your brains will fall out. My mind is so open. I feel like my brains are falling out.
We came, we saw, we died.
My brains are falling out. My brains are falling out. My brains are definitely falling out.